Hello everybody and welcome to Wiffle Ball News. We are here. It's the big one, the Hometowncup this weekend. Biggest wiffle ball tournament of the year. The Cup, the Newts looking to defend it this weekend. They're making, we got 70 teams coming to New Carlisle. We're here, haven't been doing many prediction shows, but for the big one, we got to do it.
Yeah, it's been a while, guys. We got a guest coming on. We're really excited.
Without further ado, here's former Orville MVP, Tony Cook.
Welcome to it.
Hey.
Doctor's in.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to go through each pool. One of us will say our predictions, and then we'll see if anyone has anything different, and then we're going to give our final four and go from there. So let's start us off. We're going to start off with the P-Wheeler division. I believe top three teams make it from each pool, so we're just going to name the top three that we think are going to make it. Teams in the pool are the Dirtbags, the Goon Squad, Stash Bros, Morning Track Power, and the Wild Cards. Wild Cards are one game away from making it to Migley last year. Tony, how about you lead us off?
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a surprise here, but I'm rolling with the Wild Cards to take this division. First place. They were close last year. It seems like they play their best ball at hometown days the last few years. Second place, I got the Stash Bros. And third place, roll with the Goon Squad. How about you guys?
I honestly agree with those. Wild Cards played well last year, like you said. They played well at Hometowncup. The Stash Bros played pretty well too. I think they knocked off Maple City last year.
Yeah.
And Goon Squad, honestly, they have got some solid players.
They've got better.
I agree with those first two, but I'm going to go with Morning Track Power to get third place.
All right.
I like them. Yep, but I definitely agree with those top two. Two good teams up there.
Yeah.
On to the Pablo Sanchez division.
All right, on to the Pablo Sanchez division. We got the Godfathers, Mo Mookie Mo Problems, the New Carlisle Newts, the Cream Team, and the New Republic. Griffin, what do you got?
I like the Newts going 4-0 in this one. Won the tournament last year. I think it's pretty obvious. I like the Godfathers going 3-1. I think they picked up Caden Abeg, Levi Mellers, pretty solid squad they got there. And I like Mo Mookie Mo Problems going 2-2 and making the Sunday bracket. They knocked off the Maple City Magic Cam Tourney champions earlier in the year, so I think anything can happen really. But I like those three teams. What about you guys?
Yeah, I have the exact same thing as you, that top three in order. I think that's an interesting Godfathers team. They made it to one game away from Migley 2 years ago, and they added some assets like you mentioned. So I think that'll be an interesting team, see what they can do this weekend, moving into Sunday too.
Yeah. I have the same thing, same as Griffin Brett. The Newts, we might not know exactly what team they're bringing yet. Kobe's been a little mysterious, not naming his lineup just
Always
yet.
is.
Which that's fine, but I'm sure he's going to have an A squad out there. So I like them going 4-0.
They got Curlis.
Exactly.
They're the team to beat. So
like you guys said, Godfathers, they're bringing an interesting team, and then Mo Mookie Mo Problems. They can surprise some teams as long as Mookie maybe stays off the booze a little bit.
And we're going to head on to the Keisha Phillips division. For the Keisha Phillips division, we got 4 convicts in the cop, GP Black, Mallards, I'll have another, Master Batters, and With Our Bats. Shepard?
I think Malort, I'll have another. We're going to go ahead and go 4-0 and take this division, first place. GP Black, I like to get second, and then I have Master Batters getting third.
The only thing I had flipped was GP Black going 4-0. I like the squad they have going this weekend. Mallards, they always seem to play really well at Hometowncup too, so they can also go 4-0. Tony?
I'm going with GP Black first, but I can totally see Malords taking the division, so I have them second. I think that game between those two teams will be really interesting. Should be a tightly contested game. For third, I don't know, what was it, With Our Balls or With Our Bats?
Yeah, a lot of the 3 other teams weren't really big name teams, so I think anything can happen with those.
If you're on With Our Balls or whatever, then give me a shout out. Go get third place.
On to the Ahmed Khan division.
On to the Ahmed Khan division, we got Bush League, Mechanics, Millie, the Naturals, and Thunder Bunnies. Tony, what do you got?
I think this is a pretty easy pool for the Mechanics. I think if they're not sitting pretty at one of the top seeds going into Sunday, they ought to be very disappointed. I know they added the Rat, Bailey Red, to the team. That's a good add. Second place in that division, I got Bush League, and third I have the Naturals. But like I said, the Mechanics should roll here.
Yeah, I agree. The mechanics should roll, like he said. I had the Naturals in second. They were talking on Twitter. They think they're pretty good, so maybe they'll go 3-1. And then, yeah, maybe Bush League, any of those other three teams to go 2-2.
Chance to show some spotlight for those teams.
Yeah, someone can make a name for themselves this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I think second place kind of up for grabs between those other 4 teams, but mechanics should have that first place locked up.
Yep. On to the, I think it's Jacinda Smith division. For the Jacinda Smith division, we got the Alcoholics, Big Sticks, Skinny Jeans, Team Combat, and the Muffs. Tony, lead us off again.
I think I'm going to roll with Team Combat taking first here. I don't really know a lot about them, but from what I remember last year, Hometown Days, they had a pretty good showing. I think they have, one, at least from my recollection, one really good stick in that lineup. Could be wrong, but I think that they should take it. 2, I have the Muffs, a lot of veterans on that team. And third,
it's up for grabs like most
Yeah.
divisions.
Yeah.
I would take the Big Sticks for third.
We'll
but
go with that.
Who knows? That Team Combat team, like you said, really interesting. I'm pretty sure they made a Final Four once at World Wiffle Ball, so if they can make a Final Four there, maybe they can make the migley. Shepard, anything different?
No, I got Team Combat going 4-0, and the News getting second as well. And then third spot kind of up for grabs, like you guys mentioned.
Yep. So we're going to head on to the Stephanie Morgan division.
Now for the Stephanie Morgan division, we have Big Dogs, Clutch Players, Off in the Woods, the Great Lakes, and Warsaw Whitecats. Griffin, what do you got?
Start off this pool, I like Clutch Players going 4-0. They had a good weekend at World Wiffle Ball last weekend. They lost to the champs, Cole West. Can't hang your heads about that. They've been to Migley plenty of times. Think they're going to do it again, possibly. So yeah, 4-0 for them. I like Warsaw going 3-1, and I like the Great Lakes going 2-2. Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Clutch Players, first place. Like Griff just said, they've been to Migley plenty of times. At the same time, I feel like they're oftentimes overlooked in a way, which is quite sad because they have a lot of really talented players. I mean, Andy Saratsky hits the ball so hard. Second place, I got to go for Whitecats. They don't have Zarek for this tournament, but they're a bunch of crafty veterans. They'll find their way to Sunday. And third, I'll go for Big Dogs simply because Off in the Woods, I don't think they'll do so hot because we're not playing in the woods here, we're playing in an open field.
I agree with Tony on that top 3 there. Yep. Clutch Players, I think go 4-0 pretty easily.
Yeah. On to the Mir Khan division. For the Mir Khan division, we have Brew Crew, Ragnarok Your Socks Off, Scottsdale Sluggers, Triple Crown, and the Twin Branch Billy Goats. Shepard, lead us off.
I got the Twin Branch Billy Goats taking first place in this one. Pretty dominant team against Migley last year. They're looking to get back. Second place, I got Scottsdale Sluggers. Good, solid Orbital team. Looking to maybe make some noise going into Sunday. And then third place, I got Triple Crown.
Yeah, I agree with that exactly. Twin Branch playing really well in Orbital. A lot of people have seen. Scottsdale has some really good hitters. I don't know. I believe Shea's coming. I haven't seen their lineup, but I think he's coming. Triple Crown, Jeremy Ross back. They picked up Sheepert from the Sluggers, so that'll be an interesting matchup. But yeah, I agree with Brett on that.
I'm going to have to agree with both of you guys. Yeah, the Billy Goats first for sure. That's a team, like I said, that made it to the Final Four last year. They've been so good in Orbital this year as well. But at the same time, I feel like they're almost being slept on in a way, even though they did make it to the Final Four last year. I think they're oftentimes forgot about it a little bit. Second, yeah, I got the Sluggers, and third, Triple Crown, Jeremy Ross. We just played a little bit with him and a pickup game, and he started getting it going at the end. So I know he's raring to go. He's back at it.
On to the Annie Fraser division.
On to the Annie Fraser division, we have Big Daddy Hacks, Granger Panthers, Cool Kids, the Belmont Transfer, and Zone 3 Cyclones. Tony, what do you got?
First place, I have the Granger Panthers. They just fell short last year in the championship game. Obviously, they're going to be eyeing this tournament big time. I feel like they're going to come in guns blazing for this and just be ready to go. Totally dominate that pool. Second place, I have the Belmont Transfer. Third, I have Zone 3. Typically, I'd probably have Zone 3 second, but Mark Richards is not on the Zone 3 squad for this tournament. So that's how I have the Belmont Transfer kind of hopping over Zone 3. What about you?
The only thing I have different is zone 3 and second. Even without Mark, I still respect those guys. They have one, I don't know his name, sorry, but he can hit. He can pull the ball really hard, and I like zone 3, going 3 and 1.
I agree with Griffin. I think Belmont Trains will get third, but Zone 3 will get second, and Panthers will get first. But I think it'll be an interesting matchup between Zone 3 and Belmont Trains.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a really good game. On to the Kenny Kawaguchi division. For the Kenny K division, we got the Coal West Warriors, Gumps Angels, OTF, Swing and Miss, and an unexpected BJ. Brett?
I got Colt West Warriors, multiple time champions. I got them winning it pretty easily. Easiest division, I would say, out of the 14 that we got on for this weekend.
Yeah, honestly, I'd take Coal West, and I've really never even heard of any other teams. This is by far the easiest division, so I don't know who I'd even put at second.
Yeah. If you're Colt West, you got to be like, wow, this is the perfect opportunity to take, get the number 1 seed. Not that they really even need it. I know in previous years they lost a game in pool play and they ended up winning the whole thing. But talk about a gift of a pool. They should totally dominate. I guess I have unexpected BJ second just because that's a pretty cool name. I got to give props to that. I mean, come on. And then I guess Swing and Miss third. So.
Yeah, not much more to say about that.
Bad pool.
On to the Dante Robinson division.
Now for the Dante Robinson division, we have Big Baller Mats, Grandma's Quilt, Long Shots 13U, Shake and Bake, and Speedy's Chicken Head. Tony, what do you got?
I'm going with Grandma's Quilt, first place. They won HD, and then for this tournament, they picked up from the Heat, Jared Monhood and Bobby Batts Bushman, former Orbital MVP. That's 2 really good pickups right there. Makes a good team even better. They can definitely make a run at the Final Four, I think. Second place, I'm going to Speedy's Chicken Heads. A lot of veterans. They don't play nearly as much anymore, but they're ready to go for this tournament. They'll be able to make their way to Sunday. Third place, name a team. I don't know.
I agree. I like Grandma's Quilt first. I think it's gonna be interesting to see who they don't have because I know they have that. They usually have that lefty. I don't know who they don't have this weekend. Who they have or who Bobby and Jared replace. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, Speedy second. They made it to the Final Four 2 years ago, I believe. And then I like Big Baller Bats third. LeVar Ball, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, Big Baller Bats for me too.
Yeah, I have that same 3 in that same order. I think that those 2 pickups by Granny are definitely interesting. I think it would be cool to see how it plays out with Jared and Bobby and them going into Sunday, see if they can make it to England.
Yep. On to the Tony D division.
All right, for the Tony D division, we have the American Giants, the Knights, Slapnuts Magoo, Son of a Pitch, and Stan Minnicus Donuts. G, what do you think for this one?
Kind of a weak division. I like Son of a Pitch going 4-0. What were they, the 2016, 15 champs? 16 champs. Like the American Giants going 3-1. And then I like Slapnuts Magoo going 2-2. You guys have anything different?
I have the same order there. Son of a Pitch, I think, they're trying to get back to migley, trying to hoist that cup again. Tony Cook playing with them this weekend, so I think that'll be an interesting team. I got them going 4-0, and they look to get back to migley, definitely a contender.
Yeah, I have the same thing. A little bit of a homer pick for me, I guess, but yeah, I got my squad.
A good chance for Son of a Pitch to get a really high seed with that kind of pool.
Definitely.
So,
I know last year we had Son of a Pitch, we had a really high seed and just fell short, so. And that's every team's goal, I think, as a top dog, like a team in a division, is to just pile on the runs, try to help your cause as much as you can to try to get your route to migley a little bit easier, even though no route is easy.
One of the Ernie Steele division.
Now for the Ernie Steele division, we have LeBron's Disciples, the Little Frickers, Maple City Purple, the Mob, and Woo Crew. Tony, what do you have?
I have Maple City Purple taking down this division. They have David Davis to this team. I think that's going to be a big ad for them. He's repping the Magic. Second, I'm going to go with the Mob. They could easily win this division too. That game between Maple City Purple and the Mob is going to be one of the best pool play games, I feel like, on Saturday. It's going to be a really competitive game. And third, I have the Woo Crew, which they could easily get second potentially too. I feel like this is by far the strongest division, most competitive.
I'd have to agree with that, but I have the Mob going first. I really like the Mob. They are missing BLT Terry from Twitter, but
that's gonna be a big miss.
I think they'll be okay without him, man. I think they'll go 4-0. I like Maple City Cripple going 3-1. Still a pretty solid squad, and Woo Crew going 2-2.
Yeah, I got the Mob going 4-0, and like you guys said, this is, I think, your toughest division. I think those three teams are almost in some ways interchangeable in those top three spots, but I think second I got Woo Crew, and Maple City Purple go again. I think it'll be a tight game.
All right.
It can go either way, but like I said, Maple City Purple going 2-2.
And on to the Ricky Johnson division. For the Ricky Johnson division, we have the Eliminators, Emery's Armory, Home Runner Bust, One Hit Wonders, and Swing and Misses. Brett, what do you think?
I've got Home Runner Bus going 4-0 and taking this division. Pretty experienced, solid team. Same thing, Emery's with the experienced, solid team. I think they'll go 3-1. I think that'll be an interesting matchup. And then third place in the division, I got the Eliminators.
I surprisingly have Emery's going 4-0. I was talking to Jake Lawrence last weekend. He's ready to win some ball games. I like Home Runner Bus going 3-1. They had a decent weekend at World Wiffle Ball. They lost to Maple City twice. And I like, who did you have that third?
Eliminators.
I'll go with the Eliminators at third too. I don't really know any of the other two.
I'm going to go with Home Runner Bus. I think that's just a solid all-around team. Pretty safe team. They've won some tournaments in the past. I'm not sure how their all-time records played out at Hometown days. I don't think they've done as well, but I think they can win the division. Emery's I have second, and then third I'm going to go with Swing and Miss. But I think the real question in this pool is if Emery's Army gets to Sunday, will they show up to Sunday? Because they a few times have not, but I think this year they'll be there.
On to the Kimmy Ekman division.
Now for the final division, the Kimmy Ekman division, we have Big Tits and Bat Flips, the County Line Kings, Hotel Tango, Little Saints, and Maple City Magic. Tony, what do you got?
I have Maple City Magic, not a surprise there. They're bringing a loaded team for this weekend. They just narrowly lost to Cold West at the World Tournament, but it's pretty crazy now. It's flipping from Cold West. Wes Ellis is joining the Magic for this tournament. That's huge. That adds so much more to just an already really good team. Second place, I'm going to go with the Kings. They've had a nice first season in Orville. They started really hot, faded down the stretch, but that's all right. I think they definitely can pull a 3-1 out of this pool. And then third, I got to go Big O Titties and Bat Flips.
I'm going to have to agree with that. Maple City dominant, and they got Wes Ellis coming this weekend, so they're going to be a really hard team to beat. County Line Kings, like you said, they've been playing well in Orville, and they've made the HD championship, so they've shown they can make a run in a tournament. So yeah, and I agree with the third team. It doesn't really matter for that third team. I think they're all pretty even.
Yeah, I got the Magic going 4-0, but I think they're going to have a really big weekend. Like you guys mentioned, Wes Ellis is a big addition for them. The Kings have a really good, County Line Kings have a really good squad this weekend. Let them really make some noise on Sunday. They'll go 3-1, but that could be an interesting game with the Magic. And then, third place we'll go with Big Tits and Bat Flips. Not really sure what the other team that you guys mentioned.
Kings could be a really scary team to face on Sunday early on for maybe a higher seeded team.
Yep, that's catch them sleeping or something like that. Yep. All right, now that we've done the pools, let's get into some Final Four predictions. Tony, you'd like to start us off?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go with the Maple City Magic, the Granger Panthers, the New Carlisle Newts, and a little bit of a homer pick, but I'm going with Son of the Pitch. Oh well, sue me. So then I have the Maple City Magic winning it all, which will disappoint a lot of people, I know. A lot of people like to hate on them, but I really just feel like the Wes Ellis edition is going to totally push them over the top. They already have such a good team as it is, with the Jonkman brothers, Shane Anderson, Drew Luther. Now you're adding one of the all-time great hitters and a guy you can put on the mound that has a nasty knuckleball. But I could totally see Granger winning it as well. I guess that would be my final, would be Maple City and Granger. Granger was so close last year, just falling short to the Newts. That's already going to give them a lot of extra motivation. And then on top of that, they had the best record in Orville, but unexpectedly lost first round to the Newts. So I think that's just going to give them a little bit of extra motivation, as if they didn't even need that, but still they're going to be looking to do some damage once they do get to the Final Four. So I could see them winning it, but just based on that Wes Ellis edition for the Magic, I think that gives them the edge. What about you, Brett?
Yeah, but that's a pretty good take. I got a pretty similar Final Four. I got the Newts, defending champions. Magic, like you mentioned, big addition by getting Wes Ellis. Ranger Panthers, and then always experienced Colt West Warriors. I think, like you said, I think Magic are going to win it all as well. I think West is just too much of an addition with the Jonquils. I think they got pitching, defense, hitting. I think it's just their time with that kind of lineup. But there's just so many teams that can win it this weekend. Definitely a number, not even just those outside of that four. It's
totally deep
different
field.
four. But if I had to pick one, I'd go with the Magic.
They threw the Panthers in there. I'm not going to throw them in there. I'm not going to choose myself. I'm going to go with the Maple City Magic. They got West. That's a scary team. Colt West Warriors. How can you not pick them? I'm going to go with clutch players making it back. It's been a while, but I think they're gonna make a run. And I like the Mob. I know they don't have Brandon, but I really like that Mob team, and I like Maple City winning it all. That Wes Ellis pickup's just huge. And yeah, so we're gonna move on to some final thoughts.
All right, now for some final thoughts. Tony, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. This is going to be my 10th year playing at the Hometowncup, and to my recollection, I think it's the deepest field that we've ever seen at this tournament. Looking at all the pools and all the teams, and how certain players from certain teams have gone to other teams, and just for like this tournament, like Jared Monhoon, Bobby Bushman on Granny's Quilt. There's so many teams that could really make a run at this thing. And all of our Final Fours, I mean, they could be pretty close to being correct, or they could be totally different. You never know in the sport of wiffle ball. I mean, look at last year, for example, and I'm not saying this to hate on the Newts. They ended up winning the whole thing, and kudos to them. But I personally thought last year that their team that they had wasn't maybe as good as previous year's teams that they brought, but they got it done, and that's why you just never know.
Yeah, you really do never know. Teams like Speedy's Chicken's Heads, I mean, they don't play wiffle ball at all much, like you said, they haven't played in a while. They made the Final Four a couple years ago. Yeah, I really think anything can happen. Home run or bust. I mean, I think that's a really slept-on team. I said they were going to lose in pool play, but they did win that Peace Fest championship a couple years back. So there's a lot of teams that are just very slept on.
I think the Mechanics are one that could really make a run too. Nate Arndt probably pitching on the mound. You always have to watch out for him. He's started swinging the bat better this year after last year a little bit of a slump. I know he's motivated. Twin Branch, they made it to the Final Four last year, but I almost feel like they're slept on in a little bit of a way as a team that people maybe forget about. They could easily make it back. The Mob, you had them in the Final Four, but I guess a lot of people might not think of them as a major threat, but they could totally take this thing as well. And then Colt West, obviously, they've won it 4 times. I didn't have them in my Final Four, and I wouldn't be surprised if not only if they made the Final Four, but if they ended up winning the whole thing. But the sole reason I don't have them in the Final Four is losing Wes. I just think that's such a big piece to that team and them winning. I know they've won it without him before, but to me, that's just a huge loss. I know they're replacing him with Zarek Finley, and he's a great player as well, but I just think that Wes is just that good. And but at the same time, anytime you're putting out a team with Jay Ryans on the mound and Scott Sue's hitting dingers galore, they're a threat. I just thought that the Wes Ellis loss for them was big, but at the same time, wouldn't be surprised if they ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah, 70 teams, all 70 have a shot. Anything can happen. I think that's going to wrap it up.
Yep, all 70 teams competing for the Cup. Yeah. See everybody out there in New Carlisle this weekend, 1:20 Eastern Time Sunday at Migley for the finals. See you there, and thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.